Alright, we got the recording going. This is going to be my second video for you guys. We're going to go over reoccurring revenue, why reoccurring revenue matters for landscaping. We're going to go over types of reoccurring services landscapers can offer, pricing. I know a lot of guys have been asking me, hey, how do I actually price these jobs? I want to make money every single month, like every day, every week, every month, but how do I actually price out these jobs so I can make the most money? We're going to go over that. Keeping the job, because you guys obviously want this every month. It's reoccurring revenue every single year, so you don't have to keep chasing jobs. No one wants to keep marketing and so on. And we're going to actually talk about what to avoid. We're going to go over all of it. It might seem really overwhelming when you read it on here, but you guys know me. If you followed me from the last video, the marketing one, which if you haven't checked that out, you should go check that out. It's really good. Check that out. Okay, let's get started. Do not chase jobs every month. I got my pen back too. So we got this. Let's get it. Do not chase jobs. Do not. I'm gonna tell you exactly why. It's inconsistent income. It's not predictable. When you mow lawns, it's really predictable unless you have a drought. It's the only way it's not predictable, but you're still gonna be mowing lawns. Mowing grass is probably the most predictable way that you're gonna make money every single month. You're always gonna be marketing, which means you're gonna spend more money. You don't want to keep having to spend money on ads. Keep fucking buying signs, like doing a bunch of stuff, wasting a bunch of time. See, I'm going on my. I had to check my phone again. No, video time, like last time. All right. Recurring revenue. All right, let's get into it. Where should I start? Why reoccurring revenue matters. Okay. Why reoccurring revenue matters. One-time jobs equals inconsistent income. True. So do not do that. Only do that if you are doing maintenance, like lawn mowing. Can you guys see that? Lawn mowing. You want to mix these two. It's both. It's one-time jobs, but it's inconsistent, which you don't want to always only do that. You want to actually also do maintenance, which is lawn mowings, which is predictable cash flow every single month, like I was saying before. It's predictable. Easier hiring plus growth. You can grow your business a lot faster because you're always getting money. It gets the bills paid, it gets your guys paid, it gets your gas paid, it gets everything paid for. You can buy stuff, and it's easier to hire because you can actually start guys on the mowing crew, work your way up with installs, planting, mulching, these big tickets that you can go work on while your guys are mowing grass. The one-time jobs are not always there. This is very true. So if you don't have a mulch job lined up, if you're not doing a patio, if you're not doing an install, what are you going to rely on? You're making no money for that month. You have bills to pay. You have guys working for you. And why does recurring revenue matter? I already explained. Okay, let's go here. It's predictable monthly cash flow. Predictable monthly cash flow. For example, 50 weekly mowings at $50 per mowing is $2,500 weekly, which is $10,000 a month. This might sound really steep. You might think that's like a lot, but if you go back to my marketing video I made, if you go back to the marketing video, I explained to you how to actually get 50 weekly lawn mowings pretty easily. It's predictable, scalable. You can upsell later. So when you get the mowings, what you want to do is you want to get the mowings first. A lot of guys do this backwards. They try to get like the big jobs, try to get like the quick money, the big ticket, the $500 jobs, $1,000 jobs, $1,500 jobs. No, you can get those, but make sure you're chasing the weekly lawn mowings because then you can upsell the same people on the jobs. So all you need is 50 people. If you can get 50 customers, say 25 of them want cleanups, 10 of them want mulching, 10 of them want their bushes trimmed, you're making a lot of money off of just 50 people instead of having to go chase a bunch of customers. So if you get those loyal people that want mowings, they're not going to want to go with like 5 different landscapers to do different jobs. They're going to just go with you, and most of the time it's the mowing because the mowing is like something that always has to be done every single week. So they're going to give you the mulching, the trimming bushes, the snow removal, anything they want done, brush removal, whatever. So it's predictable income, scalable. Like I said before, you can hire guys easily because they can mow for, can you see that? You, while you go and do other jobs. You mow 5 days a week, so you're always staying busy and you're making money. And then, yeah, bigger jobs on the weekend. So when you're not mowing, you can do bigger jobs on the weekend. A lot of guys, they mess this up. They think it's only, like I said, the big ticket. No, it's both. So guys, do your weekly lawn mowings 5 days a week. 10 houses a day is a good point to start, and then do your bigger jobs on the weekend, mulching, stuff like that. Reminder: it's about predictable income, not the lawn mowing. Just want to put that out there. All right, let's move on. Okay. Types. You guys see? Types of reoccurring services landscapers can offer. The number one way is weekly mowing. Mowing, if you guys don't know what that includes, I know we have a lot of beginners here. You mow the house, you weed whack it, you blow off the grass, and it's either weekly or bi-weekly. Weekly is more important. If you're going to have bi-weekly houses, charge more. Not a lot more. So say weekly is $50, then your bi-weekly, if they want bi-weekly, should be like $60 or $65. Not too much, because this usually sometimes makes people want to just go weekly, because what's the point of getting charged $10, $15 more? Yes, it's more money for them, but then it's kind of like a no-brainer, because they're like, okay, $100 compared to 65. It's like, I'd rather just, they think boom. But if you really want to get it, you can even go like more expensive, and then definitely it's a no-brainer. But you don't want to go too expensive, because then you might lose it completely. So then you don't even make 50, you don't even make 65, you don't even make 75, you make 0. So you have to be very careful of that. All right, let's go to the next one. Cleanups. Cleanups are high ticket, right? Cleanups you could charge anywhere from $200 all the way to $1,000, depending on how bad the house is. So fall or spring, right? Clean out the beds with of leaves and stuff like that, and cut down. Let me see if that's good. Grasses and stuff. All leaves bagged up and blown off the yard, and it's high ticket. Like I said before, you can charge between $250 or to $1,000, depending on what the house looks like. Okay, I know this looks like a lot of spaghetti. Mulching, guys, this is high ticket, and this I honestly gotta tell you guys. Oh, and with cleanups too, these go hand in hand. Is that cleanups? Here, I'll make a little thing. And mulching, you can do them yearly. So you already have work lined up. So say you got 50 customers, and say 25 want a cleanup, and then say the other, I don't know, 10 want you to do their mulching every year. Then look at that, you already have a bunch of jobs lined up at the beginning of the year that you can go and do to get cash flow to your business. So you have money before the grass starts growing, depending on your area, and then you can focus on your weekly mowings after that. So weekly mowings, clean up, and then the reason I have it like this is because you should get your weekly mowings first, then upsell to the cleanups, upsell to the mulch, and then the snow removal at the end of the year. If you do snow removal, this is optional depending on your area, of course. So you can do the cleanups, you get the mowing, you upsell to the cleanups, you upsell to the mulch. It's so simple. You can go and get more customers that don't do lawn mowing, obviously, to get cleanups and mulching. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying if you do get weekly lawn mowings and you actually focus on that, you're more likely to get the cleanups and the mulching, so you can just get everything. It's a lot easier, so you don't have to deal with a bunch of customers. But this is kind of what you want. You want 50 customers, and you want them to have to you want them to do cleanups, and you want them to do mulch, so you're making money every single year. I have multiple jobs where every single year, as soon as the year starts, I already know I'm doing their cleanup, and I'm doing their mulching, and I'm doing their trimming bushes. Like, I already know that I do that every single year. I've been doing it for the last 3 years at their house. That, like, the first month, you can make $10K. Like, you're already, like, guaranteed to make $10K that month, or $20K that month. It's really important. Then you can go in and do your weekly lawn mowings once the grass starts growing. So, mulching the beds yearly, like I said before, and it's high ticket. Like, literally anywhere from $100 to you can literally do like $4,000 jobs, even more. So let's put a plus. So to go over that, the best is weekly mowing. After the weekly mowing, you can upsell to the cleanup. After the cleanup, you can upsell to the mulch. And these two are yearly, usually at the beginning of the year, or if you're doing a fall cleanup. And weekly lawn mowing is what's constantly making you money throughout the summertime. So you can constantly get that weekly money, that monthly money. This is what it's all about, reoccurring revenue, right? So let's talk about pricing. A fixed rate versus a per job. Everything varies for a per job, right? Labor, material, it varies. You overprice and you lose the job. These are two. You either overprice and lose the job, or you underprice and lose profit. You obviously want to avoid these. Let's give you an example of a fixed rate. Weekly lawn mowings. Example, $50 per cut weekly. Or whatever your number is. I don't know what it is in your area. In my area, the cheapest or the average is like $50. It's stable income, so it's fixed rate. You're always gonna be working, and you're always gonna be able to upsell, like I said before, to mulch, cleanups, brush removal, bushes trim, things like that. You can always upsell to that because you're doing the weekly lawn mowings, and they're always going to be homeowners usually look for people to do work for them. They might have something, and then you can upsell them to that. So you're having your stable income from the weekly lawn mowings, but then also upselling, making more money. When pricing a mowing, key factors is your distance, how far it is to each house to mow, your time to mow, the weed whacking, and obstacles. Your time to mow is really important because I actually think that factoring in the idea of being on the mower, this goes with weed whacking too. These two kind of like go together. I'll circle it so you understand. I think I rather mow for, say a house takes me 20 minutes to do, but 15 minutes of it is mowing and 5 minutes of it is weed whacking and blowing off. I rather charge that cheaper than if it was 5 minutes mowing and 15 minutes weed whacking. Same time, more work, way like harder work, you're weed whacking more. And I'm not saying go up like $10 more, but that's kind of something you want to factor in, right? Because if you do a bunch of those in a day, you're going to be a lot more tired and you're working a lot harder, and you kind of just don't even want to do those kind of houses. So your distance is the number one thing you want to avoid is how far they are. You don't want to have houses that are far apart. You want route density. Houses that are literally all right next to each other or like 5 minutes away. And obstacles. If you have to go through gates, it's more money because maybe you don't have, your mower doesn't fit through a gate and you have to push mow. So any kind of obstacles like that, if it's on like a sketchy hill, like I would just avoid jobs like that. Per job, let's talk about the pricing for the per job. So cleanups is per job because there might be more leaves. There might be like you have to do more, you have to cut more things down. Maybe there's like a lot of acorn. Like there's so many variables in cleanups. Mulching as well as like how much mulch, how many yards. Like how much is it? How much is it gonna be? It could be cheaper, it could be more expensive. I like to also factor in for mulching is like how far, if you have to like have a wheelbarrow, is how far are the beds. So how far do you have to walk? Obviously, if you have a wheelbarrow, it's going to take you, like, do you have to walk like 200 yards? Do you have to walk 10 yards? It's kind of like, how far do you have to go? I'll charge more based on that. Landscape installs, obviously per job. Hardscape, per job. Trimming bushes, how many bushes are there? It's per job. You can't have a fixed rate on any of these. You would go out of business pretty quickly. So, let's talk about keeping the job. You must show up consistently. This is like number one, and this is number one, and this is number one, and this is number one. One. This is so important. Show up consistently because that shows that you are reliable and you're trustworthy. Have clear expectations. Do not try to like sugarcoat and like have these crazy expectations because they're not going to trust you, and that's not going to make you reliable because maybe you can't get the job done, and then now you're like, oh, I can't do it till next week, or I can't do it at all. Then you're not reliable. Then they're going to get rid of you and you're not consistent. And communication, being sure you can invoice them on time. If you can't show up to a job, messaging them saying, hey, sorry, can't show up right now. If it's going to rain out, telling them that you're going to come tomorrow or the day before because you can't mow in the rain. Things like that. Communication, that's keeping the jobs. Homeowners will like you a lot more. So show up consistently, clear expectations, reliability, communication. Reliability is the number one. Like they really want to, if someone's hiring a landscaper, they want them to be reliable and trustworthy. They want them to show up on time, do the job right. That's why they're hiring you. So avoid this. Is this my last? Yeah. Avoid this. taking on too many low-priced accounts. Yes, when you first start, maybe you want to go low price so you can get your foot in the door, get some experience, make some money. That's okay. But taking on too many is going to be time-consuming. You're going to end up probably losing money. But the good thing about going a low price, though, is that you can actually just raise it. Like, it's not the end of the world. Maybe like $5. So if you have 50 customers at like 40, or let's just say at $5 or $50, and then you raise it up 5, so now you're at 55. Yeah, like, do the math. You just made a bunch more money a week, right? So houses that take too long as well is something you want to avoid. Obviously, that kind of goes into your key factors is distance, how long it takes you to mow, how long it takes you to weed whack, obstacles. If you're at a house for an hour and you're charging $50, that might seem like good money, but I promise you, if you have good route density and they're kind of smaller, you can make, say, $50 an hour. If they're good route density, you can make $150 an hour. You could do 2-3 houses in an hour very easily. Trust me, I've been doing it since I was 17 years old. So houses that take too long and taking on too many low-priced accounts. That's what you kind of want to avoid. So this is everything we went over in the recurring revenue. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. Check out my Instagram. Instagram. Did I spell that right? It's Shane QC Outdoor. Shane Outdoor. DM me if you have any questions. Or you want to work with me. If you have questions about your company, you want to work with me, also send me a DM. That'll work as well. So if you want to work with me, learn more from me, message me on Instagram, Shane Outdoor. I'm actually going to, because I did that last video with the marketing, I'm going to probably keep expanding this Miro board for you guys. Like, I'm going to talk about so many different topics, and then I'm going to share it so you guys can just go on here and read it for yourself, so you don't get confused, and if you have any questions, you can just read it for yourself and kind of figure it out from there. So Instagram, Shane Outdoor. Message me if you guys have any questions about the video or you want to work with me one-on-one. That works as well. Thank you for checking out the video. I will have more videos uploaded. I'm going to come up with the next idea. Probably going to be talking about equipment, stuff like that. Because I try to make these videos because I feel like when I started my landscaping company, I didn't really like watching anyone. I felt like it just wasn't the person I would want to watch and learn from. And I'm just trying to become that person that I would have wanted to watch. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until the next one.